Are you ready to bet against some MAC schools on Friday night in college football action? I am. Let's talk about it. Teddy covers with a double gamer big game breakdown for Friday night. Let's talk Michigan State and Western Michigan. Let's talk San Jose State and Central Michigan, a couple of directional schools. And boy, before I moved to Vegas, I used to be really intimidated by the smaller schools, the smaller conferences. You couldn't find as much info, you didn't know as much about those teams. So let me help you with what I've done and researched over the summer about these squads. And of course, being in Vegas the last 28 football seasons has helped a lot when it comes to understanding and managing and dealing with the smaller schools, the directional schools, the MAC schools of the world. So let's start with the earlier of the two games, Michigan State and Western Michigan. Right now, looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen, I'm seeing the Spartans minus 20.5 against the Broncos in most locations, total sitting about 50. So the betting markets don't expect Western Michigan to score a whole lot in this ball game. You know, when you got a 17-point spread and the total sitting at 50, that means the dog is outclassed on the offensive end, and I agree with that. You know, I really am. Now, Michigan State just 5-7 last year. They started 3-0 and then had a rough time in Big Ten play. However, throughout the course of the season, and we didn't expect Jonathan Smith's first year in East Lansing to be elite. All right. But Smith's a coach we like. He made us a whole lot of money at his previous stop. And of course, last year, Sparty 0-4 against the spread as home favorites. In Corvallis for Oregon State, 14-3 ATS in that role. So which is real? Last year's 0-4 or the longer term track record of 14-3? Let's talk about it with this double gamer. Before I get into it, I do want to let you guys know what's going on right now over at WagerTalk.com. Locked and loaded. Obviously, football weekend, the first weekend of college. NFL's posted. I got a bunch of $5 plays available for college football, one for the NFL in week one. First timers, you want to see, check it out, see what we do? $5 plays available right now on my page, www.buzz.com/TC. It's okay if you don't want to buy plays. I understand. Buying plays is not for everyone. If you're interested in partnering up this football season, we got great deals for monthly packages, seasonal packages, etc. Again, wt.buzz.com/TC takes you right to my homepage, or just go to WagerTalk.com and look for Teddy Covers. Before I go on, I also want to ask you guys one simple favor. You like this type of analysis? Boom, hit that like button. Done. Appreciate it. So, Sparty, again, good start last year, rough finish, but Aiden Childs is a bet on QB, in my opinion. Jonathan Smith, who had a terrible season last year in this role, but had a great track record in his previous stop in this role. I believe the long-term track record more than the short-term track record. And that first year, when you're walking into a program that had been through, I mean, Michigan State had turmoil. You know, lots of issues over the previous seasons. Jonathan Smith's the bet-on guy. Week one is a time I like to bet on coaches, especially with a quarterback who we trust, all right, in Childs. And of course, you know, these two teams played in 2022. Michigan State wasn't good then. 35-15 for the Spartans. 35-13 for the Spartans in that ballgame. They won it by 3 scores, which is all they need to do to win this one. Now, I do have some concerns about Michigan State when it comes to special teams. And in this point spread range, the last thing you need is a missed extra point or a missed field goal. But they've got questions about kicker. They've got questions about long snapper. If they can't kick and they don't have a long snapper, that's why they're going to go for it on fourth down. And that may lead to more touchdowns. That can help you as a favorite more than hurt you sometimes. It really can. But we'll see what happens. And Smith's quote, depending on who's our kicker this week, will impact decision-making on play calling on offense. So Jonathan Smith knows that he may need to be going for it on fourth down in this ballgame. And against a second-tier MAC defense, I wouldn't be surprised if they have success. All right. Now, Western Michigan reportedly is going to go with 2 different quarterbacks in the season opener, Brock Lowry and Brady Jones. That being said, neither guy has much experience at the collegiate level. Lowry played in a handful of games last year. He ran as much as he threw the football. And Jones is in his first year at the FBS level. He played at community college a year ago. So it's not a QB combo that I trust, and the fact that neither one was able to win the starting job in fall camp is definitely a concern to me. And there's a pretty big class difference here. I understand Kalamazoo is just down the road from East Lansing. Western Michigan will have some fans in attendance, but I was looking yesterday, said it was almost a sellout. This game's going to sell out for Michigan State. They'll have the edge, and they're the better team on both sides of the football by a pretty wide margin. They don't have any kind of betting bandwagon because of their failures last year. Spartans are pass for this better. I will not ignore Jonathan Smith's 14-3 ATS mark in Corvallis when laying points at home. And I think last year, something of an aberration. Michigan State, very much a team that has the potential to be on the rise. So we're betting against Western Michigan. What are we going to do with Central Michigan when they go out to San Jose? The Chippewas from Mount Pleasant. Yeah, I spent 10 years in Michigan. Love the state, love to visit in the summertime. And I've been to Kalamazoo. I've been to Mount Pleasant. These are not foreign places to me and not foreign teams, which helps with the MAC and the smaller conferences. And again, I'm very comfortable. You'll get some marquee matchups on my page, but I'm very comfortable betting some of the schools that I've got knowledge of in the lesser conferences. Check out my homepage, wt.buzz/TC. Appreciate the likes, the comments, and the subscribes on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. But looking at the late game, Central at San Jose, I'm seeing minus 11, 11.5, 12 for the Spartans against Central Michigan. Total in this game sitting 50.5, 51. Central's programs had a rough time. I mean, last year was rough, all right? Before the season started, they lost basically their top 4 wide receivers. All their big play threats were gone. And then they found the quarterback coach who resigned early in the campaign. And then the quarterback got hurt. Bert Emanuel got hurt. And Joe Labas got into action. Then Labas got hurt. And the running back had injuries. Basically, for most of the season, they had their third-string offense going. When it came to quarterback, running back, receiver, their top players all got hurt. And lo and behold, 4-8 when all was said and done. But now we've got a new head coach in Matt Drinkle, a former Army assistant. He brought in his defense coordinator with him. He's not bringing the option offense with him. He is bringing in, obviously, 2 new coordinators. Quote, "You want to have the ability to be balanced in every full game, but we really want to start our foundation with having a physical presence in between the C gaps." They're going to be running a no-huddle shotgun or pistol look, quote, about 90% of the time. Well, that's something that Ken Niumatalolo from San Jose has experience with. Obviously, the former Navy head coach, familiar with the former Army assistant. So I think that's an edge, a little edge, for San Jose in this one. The bigger edge is that San Jose is a way better team. Way better team. Central Michigan has a lot of concerns. All 7 of their top receivers from last year are gone. Bye-bye. Offensive line, they brought in 4 transfers to try to shore up the offensive line with starting experience, but it's not a cohesive unit just yet. It's Central Michigan when it comes to the MAC. At times, the times of the McElwain era, they were a real good team. This year's team is going to have some growing pains early. I really think so, and that's why we've seen the early money come for the San Jose State Spartans. And look, San Jose State last year was okay. They won 7 games. But that was mostly with Brett Brennan's players, who's now at Arizona. That being said, you read Niumatalolo's quotes. From the bowl game until now, expectations have gone up even higher. Talking about his quarterback, Walter Egan, who started last year as a backup and then took over the starter later position. Quote, "He's gone up exponentially higher, just his knowledge of grasping the offense. Watching him this offseason and during spring practice, taking on a great leadership role that wasn't him last year, because he didn't make an announcement who the starter was until the first game of the season. So we kind of had to earn that role, but he's been a complete buy-in. You just watch him now. He takes the receivers on his own, and he goes and throws routes. Just really, really excited." And again, you expect the coach to love the quarterback, but these are really positive quotes from a team whose arrow is pointed up. And Central Michigan, a long way from home, playing a game that starts 10:30 p.m. on their body clocks. 7:30 here on the left coast, 10:30 in Mount Pleasant. I think they'll be a little bit outclassed. I really do. Central may get better as the season progresses. Not in week one. If I'm playing, I'm laying. San Jose State or pass. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch this WagerTalk video. Stay tuned on this channel for more quality content from WagerTalk TV. If you haven't done so already, hit that like. Comment below. Tell me what you think about this ball games. And of course, subscribe. More than 210,000 of you subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Check out my homepage at WagerTalk.com. WT.buzz/TC takes you right to my page. You get on board if you want to partner up this football season. Appreciate your time. Best of luck in week one. And stay tuned for more videos. Cheers.